And with me now is the Chief of Neskantaga First Nation, Gary Cassis. Thanks for being with us today, Chief.
Yeah, good afternoon, and pleasure to be here live. Um, in the back of me, I got my colleagues holding the flag of my community. So I thank you very much for this interview, and I'm very honored to speak about our water issue, boil water issue. Yeah.
Let's talk about that water issue. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he's going to introduce legislation to tackle the issue of clean drinking water on First Nation communities. Do you think a law is required to address this issue?
Well, yesterday I didn't hear no clear answer when I said we have 30 years of boil water advisory. You know, we went through with 7 prime ministers within our BWA, and it's really impacting our lives, our children, our elders, and our women and men. Everybody's impacted. And hearing the Prime Minister say they got the legislation that's going to work for the community that's under boil water advisory for a long time. You know, it's very sad to hear that nothing is being done.
Chief,
yes.
Forgive me for interrupting. Chief, the Prime Minister has been making announcements in the billions of dollars across the country over the last several weeks. In your community, however, the most pressing issue, I imagine, is a simple one: water. What's your take on these announcements the Prime Minister has been making of late, worth billions, when you've been asking for decades for one simple thing?
Well, it's all about lips. There's no action. We've been waiting long enough for our water to be worked on. We hear a lot of commitments, a lot of money that's presented, but where does it go? You know, water is a very it's a human right issue that's happening to us in our community. You know, it's water's life. And here you're hearing the province and Canada pushing economic zones. Why can't they push and fast track our community of Neskantaga, so we could have clean drinking water? You know, it's very sad to hear that. And I was disappointed to hear the minister, the Prime Minister, not telling me if he's going to work on it for our water. The public heard that. You know, there's no clear answer. And here I'm going to show you a picture of my water, how it looks. I don't know if the screens are going to pick it up.
If you can just hold that a little bit closer to your face, we might be able to see it. If you can back it up closer and hold it up a little bit higher, we might be able to see it. And what we see is a bathtub with brown-looking water. Is that what we're looking at, Chief?
That's what you're looking at.
Is that water that is you're expected to drink, or presumably you can't? That's why it's under a boil water advisory.
Yes, and that's what we've been living for 30 years plus.
Chief, I appreciate your time today and for your questions at the AFN meeting this week, and we look forward to speaking with you further.